Do we really need to spell things out all the time?
Do we really have to ask for things, or should people just sort of kind of know what we want?
Just know by like how we are, kind of
How
thing.
we are, so
Mind reading, I suppose.
kind of, but sometimes you think, especially if you're with a partner, you would expect them to know, and that's what we're going to be talking about on this week's episode.
Oh,
Get real with the English sisters.
Join us, and please do leave a comment and subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, or wherever you like, really, wherever you get your social media fix.
Right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty about, do we have to ask? I mean, sometimes it's like that. You feel, why don't they know what I need? Especially when it's a partner, I think.
I'm laughing because exclusively, well, mostly when it's a partner.
Mostly when it's a partner. Sometimes you, like even at work, you would think, surely they should know.
They should know I'm overworked.
They should know this. Can't they see that I'm so busy? Why are they coming to me now and asking me for this? They should know. Do I really have to ask for more time off? Or, you would expect... But especially when we're talking about partners.
Yeah, but I think you've hit it on the nail there. Also with work, because I remember that my daughter's boyfriend was telling me that where he works in the lab, he says often he gets like a line of people
just waiting
for him to help them. And
when he's really
busy doing an experiment
and he thinks, can't they see?
He thinks, why can't they see how busy I am?
Yeah, literally. Do I have to wear a vest like what they did that test in?
He says sometimes he even wears
their headphones
on purpose because he's got his own work to do. So he says that of course
the constant distractions,
helping
other
people, but he says he finds it very difficult to actually get on with his own work.
Yeah, because it's true. If you're being constantly distracted. It's like that experiment in the UK where the nurses actually had to wear vests and it was like a red vest and it said, do not disturb like they're doing their medication round. That was it, because they were actually giving out the meds, because after a study was done that so many errors were made in medication leading to life-threatening situations because of the distraction that was going on within the nurses. And they were just constantly, excuse me, this was happening with from doctors, from other colleagues, more than from any of the patients. And they said that wearing those vests actually helped them do a really much better job. And the margin of error was down to like 0.3 or something compared to, I don't know what it was before, but it was high enough for them to, some kind of alarm to go off, thinking, why are the nurses getting distracted like that? So that was like a little thing in brackets, but I think it's along the same kind of lines. As the nurses would think, can't you see I'm busy?
It out that we're busy, that we're doing the rounds.
Yeah, constantly, I'm busy. Whereas they just put vests on and it said, I'm busy. Do not disturb me.
I bet you they still got disturbed.
Well, no, they said it was dramatic. The people would see these doctors
Probably
and
not
colleagues.
As much,
No.
They're probably the odd one.
No, because you're giving out medications. It's an important thing. You have to be
to
careful and concentrate with the right dose, etc. But anyway, I mean, it's about asking is a kind of a tough one, I think, because it puts you into more of a vulnerable position, I think, when you have to ask.
Yes, I think
that's why we don't like asking for things, because we kind of feel a bit vulnerable about it.
Yeah.
Don't you think that could be the reason?
It was how we were brought up as well.
Culturally,
Children don't ask, don't be quiet, kind of thing.
Yeah, that could also be like from our generation. We're more like perhaps more prone to this, not wanting to ask. But I think this goes through all kind of generations. I think it just makes you feel vulnerable. For example, you're in a situation, you're with your partner, you're feeling sad about something, you've had a bad day, and you're almost feeling like crying. I mean, that was a bit like me the other morning, for example, with my husband. I've had this bad sciatica pain, I think it's and
back pain.
It was just so annoying, and I've had it already for like a month, and I did all the exercise. I thought I got rid of it, and then the other day it just came back again. And I thought, oh no, not again. I just wanted to go on with my regular activities, and now I'm like blocked again. And I was having like a little feeling really sorry for myself, having a little tear come down. And then I could see he was just saying, oh yeah, just sort of like ignoring me having his breakfast. And I actually had to think, oh, I'm going to have to ask for a hug now. I'm going to have to actually ask for it. And I thought in my head, do I really have to ask for it? Can't you see? And then when I asked for it, then he got up and he came round and he said, oh, all right. And he gave me a lovely hug, but kind of made me feel even more vulnerable having to ask for it.
So did you feel better afterwards or not?
But yeah, I kind of did.
Or did you have a little bit of resentment? Why can't he just
I had a bit of resentment. So then it made me think about it, because I thought, why can't he just do these on his own? But you like these hugs, these kind of signs of affection. Yeah.
But there's other signs.
Of course, he always goes for action.
Yes.
Call the doctor, take action. I knew all the action. I'm already doing everything else for my health. So I knew the actions I had to take.
So
that's
so
his love language.
Is that you do have to spell it out sometimes, and it's worth making the effort to spell it out.
It is worth it, and then I kind of like doing it more and more now with especially.
So maybe you can like teach your partner the kind of things that you like, so that eventually you won't have to keep asking.
No, of course you can teach. You would think that I would be able to do this. We've been married for more than 30 years. You would think I would have taught him by now, because this is not a new relationship.
But sometimes you
and
forget
you're continually evolving,
and you forget to ask. It's just like I forget that I used to make a certain recipe like years and years ago, and I completely forgot I had that like my weekly plan.
You're right.
My meal plan.
You think, oh yeah, we used to eat that, or whatever it was, rice and
that seems as if it's got nothing to do with what we're talking about, but it has, because the same as you may forget yourself what to do, your partner also evolves and
forgets
they forget
your needs.
Maybe your needs, or they don't realize that that's how you want to be.
And then sometimes the longer you're in a relationship, the more like you form habits, and
you get into your head more, your own head more.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and you might forget that the other person needs your help more than what you actually think they do,
because they don't ask for it.
Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, I am getting more. I'm like giving more hugs out as well, especially after we did that podcast on physical touch.
Physical touch. So I mean, that was good because you're implementing it, and I have been too. But it's amazing to think that yes, asking for something does make you more vulnerable.
But then it also opens you up to receive it.
To receive.
Yeah.
Ask, what's it? Thou shalt ask and thou shalt receive, something like that. Ask and you will receive.
Yeah, I mean, you want to.
You might not always receive, and maybe that's where the problem stems, that you might have had like,
the fear of
rejection.
Rejection obviously, that's what, when I say I feel like you're more vulnerable because you might get rejected. In the case of a hug from your partner, it's unusual you'll get rejected for that unless you're having an argument or something. But in the case of perhaps in other situations where you have to learn to ask more for things, then you could well be rejected. Yes. You could well have some kind of a rejection at work, for example. If you say, no, I'm sorry, I want to ask for
a promotion because I deserve it.
Well, yeah, especially in case of a promotion, there's always more money, and that you could
maybe why don't you value my services? Can't you think how much money I'm bringing to the company? Can't you think that you could just raise my, give me a promotion?
Yeah.
And whereas if you may be the person that doesn't like to ask for it, you want them to kind of see that you're worth it and see the value you're giving.
That is definitely an issue there with the promotion. I think that's one of the main things that people think about when they think about asking in their job. But it could be just things like not as big as a promotion, but just like you kind of want praise. Like you would like your boss or your superior to come to you and say, oh, you really good job there. But you don't get it because they just expect you to do a good job because that's what you've been producing so far, and they kind of expect that of you, and that's just like, oh, tick, he, she, with them, they did it, great. But you would like some kind of so that can make you feel vulnerable as well, to actually go up to your
But how are
superior.
you going to ask for that though?
Yeah, it's kind of like a bit difficult, isn't it? But you really,
How can you say I want praise?
I don't think you say I want praise, but you might say,
Were you
what,
satisfied?
yeah, did you like the presentation I did last week or something? They say, sure, yeah, great job. You might actually ask for more feedback in that case and try and do it something like more professionally. Really, you just want to say, yeah, you're great, you did a great job. And some people need this kind of praise more than others, and it doesn't make you weak or different if you do need that kind of praise. It can really be helpful in a job to get that kind of praise.
Well, I think it's very encouraging.
It's really encouraging, and it can make you feel more motivated. And a lot of the time, you might not get that praise though. So, but I think if you can learn to sort of say, if you've got any feedback, they might think what you're doing, but eventually they will give it to you. They'll give it to you.
Let's hope they don't give you negative feedback though, because some bosses
they only look for the negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's like sometimes a bit scary when you use the word feedback. Yeah, because they will typically think, well, actually, you could have done better when all you wanted was, oh, good job. That was great. So yeah, you're right about that. You can get the negative
Maybe you
feedback.
should frame it in the way, were you happy with the presentation?
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Yeah.
I think it went quite well. What do you think?
Yeah, that's it. What do you think about the last? I was really pleased with it. Maybe something like that. Yeah, because if you do ask for feedback, you'll probably get the negative. You'll probably get some positive
Well, I
and some
think
negative.
if you're already in the position, because obviously if you're not thinking about this, you've obviously got someone you work for
that's always
praising you and giving you lovely feedback.
Yeah, or saying, "Oh, that was lovely,
if you're
great,
thinking
thanks."
along those lines, it may be that you're not getting it, and they say that that's what most people want.
More than
financial rewards.
Exactly. They just want to say, oh, God, that's a great job. I mean, I know somebody who works in the family business. He needs that all the time. He needs great job, fantastic. So I've learnt that, and now I do that, and we all do it with that particular person because we know that's what they're going to thrive. That's what's going to motivate them. And very often I can hear himself, like saying it to himself. This is a great job. We're so, we're fantastic. We're doing good. And so then you can also add that. So maybe that's a way of getting around it as well.
Yeah, I just do think that in relationships especially, you have to remember that the other person isn't a mind reader.
Yes. Definitely.
And that sometimes they have been brought up differently to you. There could be cultural differences as well that you may not be used to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've got cultural differences.
Totally. Yeah, there's no making you a cup of tea, love. Like
Your
in England,
it's Italian. Think of tea.
No way. and since there is
anything is the opposite, it wants you to make him
exactly. Yeah, it is that cultural background, and especially from 30 years ago, it really was. The sweet sex, as they call it here. The women that were the ones that were the caretakers and making all the stuff. So it was very different to like when we were brought up in the UK, where it was the men who would massage a lady's feet and make the tea. And spoil them more.
Because the ladies did so much work already.
Exactly. It was the opposite. So it's like, hey. So it's been a lot of teaching there, and that's just totally cultural.
Yeah,
it really is.
It does make such a difference, and sometimes people don't consider a cultural difference. What's maybe considered like yes, you should ask for promotion. You should fight for your
Oh,
rights.
definitely.
In
Maybe
other
in the Western culture,
it's
yeah.
considered very rude.
Rude,
And,
yeah.
you don't do that. You
Not
wait.
you wait, yeah.
You wait to be given.
You wait to be praised. You wait to be whatever, any kind of
So you have to
acknowledgement.
sort of take that into account as well when you're thinking,
Definitely.
do I really have to spell it out? And sometimes you really do.
You really, really do. You have to ask, and
You shall receive.
yeah, and you
And I
will
think
receive.
a lot of the
yeah.
times it's important to say that it can make or break relationships, because sometimes these things can just fester if you don't ask for them, and you can just think, this person really doesn't care about me.
Yeah, they really don't get me. They don't care.
Get me.
They've just seen me go off looking so upset, and they're not coming running after me. You might expect that. In your culture, you might think, oh, they should be running after me now. And they might not, because they might not.
They might just think you need space.
Exactly. Maybe they don't want someone running after them, and they think, no, I want to be quiet now. So they think, okay, give them
respect.
Yeah, that's so true. That is so true. They cannot mind read. They just cannot, no matter how long they've been with you. They probably know, and they can predict certain circumstances, especially after a long time. They think, oh, I better do that or that. But they still can't mind read. No.
That brings to mind our little Otto, that he does mind read how you pets, I think.
Yeah, his little dog, yeah.
They can sense when you're when you need a hug or when you don't want one, when you want to be like quiet. Like when I get up in the mornings, if he knows that I'm still half asleep, he won't come and jump on me.
No, oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, he came and jumped on me, all right. Because
what
when I looked after him on holidays.
That's because he was more excited.
Yeah, yes, he's not used to it, was he? Disappearing off upstairs into the bedroom, he would come running up like.
No, to me, if you can see, or probably maybe because you're wide awake in the morning when you wake up. You're not half asleep like I am. Sometimes if I'm half asleep and I'm just pottering around really slowly, he'll really respect.
He understands
he does a little yawn as well. And other times when he's more lively, he'll come jumping up on me.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe I don't realise it. Yeah, I am quite wide awake in the morning.
Quite boisterous.
Well, I don't know about boisterous. Still quite quiet,
quite lively, aren't you?
Probably livelier than you. Yeah, probably. Don't know. It depends on the days, really.
Obviously.
Yeah. So you mean that pets and like animals understand more in a way?
In a way, they maybe read the body language more. They know your patterns more, like what you said. Don't you know me by now? They can get to know you a bit more, maybe than
because they don't have the language barrier, I suppose. Because
a
lot of the times the words we say are not what we really want. Yes. Sometimes we might say, yeah, I just want to be alone right now. And sometimes that may be true, but sometimes what you really need is a big cuddle. And I mean, I never say that, because whatever I say, I mean. But this is complex in many relationships where we know that many people say different things, but their body is
communicating. Like testing. Sometimes they do it to test the partner as well, to see if they really are in tune with them or not.
Yeah. The testing phase. Yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah, that can be tricky for many people, because it's even harder.
Some people say, don't play games with me, just tell me straight.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Don't they?
Whereas the animals don't have that don't play games, because they know, because your body is telling you.
Yes,
they're in sync with the body language. They can tell. They can feel these emotions more. But with the language, you get all these misinterpretations.
I think that's why it's important to sit down and talk a lot about what your expectations are, how you want.
If you're somebody that wants to just give it to me real, you know, or if you don't mind having these little games every now and again.
Yeah, and sometimes
maybe
you have to
that.
respect the game playing.
Definitely the game playing, absolutely.
Because sometimes that's what people need. That's what they need to be. They don't like to be so straightforward. They can't.
No, they can't. It's part of the relationship.
Yeah, they find it almost offensive for them to be so straightforward and just to ask for things and just say, look.
Yeah, they say
Why?
surely.
Surely do I have to, do I have to really spell it out like that? It's so rude for me. But
Yeah,
I mean, I think if you are in a relationship like that, you have to come to a bit
to terms with
to
it. You have
terms
to
with it,
come to accept
to
it.
acceptance, and also to like be a bit flexible, both of you. So sort of come to middle ground.
Yeah, saying like, okay, if I ask for something,
Give it to me.
give it to me. Yeah, like don't this is something I've thought about for a while. So yeah, I suppose so. Yeah,
No, but
can't think.
also like to be more respectful of each other.
Yes,
So
that's the utmost
to
respectful.
understand each other's needs more, go into
personalities.
their shoes a bit more, sort of see what they need.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
Well, let us know what you need and how you find. Do you have to spell things out in your relationships or at work? A lot of us do, unfortunately, because I'm not really one that likes to spell it out.
No,
Sometimes I am. It depends. No, that's
no,
not
you
true.
do. You know how to ask for
No,
what you
yeah,
want.
I do
Sure.
know how to do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes.
It's a skill. The more
It's
you
a
do it,
skill.
baby steps. You start
Yeah.
by asking for tiny little
Yeah,
things.
for things like for a cup of tea and hugs,
Yeah,
I do.
small things, and then afterwards you can elaborate on to larger things, like the other kind of issues that you want to deal with, especially in relationships or at work as well.
Yeah. And please do hit the like button and come and follow us and hit the subscribe button on YouTube too, because it does help us grow. And we really appreciate all of you. Our podcast is growing with you too.
Wonderful.
Lots of love
Lots
and
of love.
smiles from the
English
Sisters.
sisters.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.